Hey detailers, this is Brianne with Mizz Detail, and today we are interviewing Chris West.
Hey everybody, Chris West here with Solution Finish. I really hope you enjoy this interview.
One more time. Just have to do that again.
Yeah.
I'll apply some Solution Finish with So tell me, Chris, what started you in detailing? Tell me your story.
Well, actually, I'm not a detailer, but I used to own and operated coin-operated car washes. And that passion kept on going for people detailing and cleaning their cars. And I had this idea about a product that would help with the plastic, because that's what everybody's always asked me about. What can I do for the plastic? And I used to give them all the old hacks, peanut butter oil, WD-40, linseed oil, and of course silicone. And I realized very early that there was nothing really available that would restore plastic. So I just sit 6 months in my garage and worked on it and perfected my little idea. And it's history from now.
How did Solution Finish actually start?
It started by the real estate market tanking, and I had plenty of time on my hands. And after 20 years of having this idea in my head, I thought now's the perfect time to see if I can actually pull it off. So it started by me sitting in my garage for 6 months playing with chemicals.
Do you have a chemical background? And do you bottle your stuff on your own? Do you have it manufactured? Where does this magic happen?
No, I don't have a chemical background. I'm not as smart as some guys, so I read a lot. So once I had the time to start working on my idea, I read like 4,000 pages, talked to engineers and chemists and lab guys and chemical manufacturers, and started having chemicals flown in from all over the country. And I just stayed in my garage and played with the process for months. And then finally I had that eureka moment where it all came together. But it was a process of what causes oxidation on plastic, what will actually restore it, not just be a dressing, a coating, like a Band-Aid over the plastic. I wanted to truly get something that restores it and then lasts for months and months, not weeks like the silicone-based products do.
So how do you make Solution Finish?
You might be interested in knowing that Solution Finish is not outsourced at all. We manufacture it here in the building, we bottle it, we cap it, we label it, and we ship it. We don't outsource anything. Nobody else is involved in our process. We order the bottles, order the caps, order the labels, order the 55-gallon drums. It takes me about 6 hours to make a batch, which will give me 570 bottles per barrel. So every 2 or 3 days, I make another batch, and we just keep on rolling from there. And now as it's getting bigger, I have to change my process a little bit by making bigger batches, which is a real challenge for me because I have such a small facility. But as it grows, we'll grow with it.
So did you think that Solution Finish will become so big and so important, and how do you think it impacted the industry?
I think from the very start, I knew it was going to be a big deal. The question was I going to be able to bring it to the market and convince all the detailers and the car wash guys and the body shops, convince them to try it in order to change them? Because it's really hard for a detailer to change his loyalty. He's tried something, used something for so long. To change, I would just be another product coming on the market, a little flash in the pan. So I believed it was going to be big from the very start. It didn't take me long to realize it's going to be a long time before I could really get my foot in the door and get market share, because it's tough business. That's why since I've started, I've seen 8 or 9 companies start and stop and fail just because they don't have the staying power. Well, I was fortunate enough to be able to weather the storm for 3 or 4 years, you know. But my wife and I, we never lost faith in it. You know, we knew it was really, really special. And, you know, fortunately for me, the industry has not only embraced what I'm doing, they put me in a category that I never dreamed of. They will say, I changed the industry. I changed the way the industry looks at restoring plastic, vinyl, rubber. And I'm grateful for it. I always thought that once I had the right formula, I really thought it was going to be huge if I could stay around long enough to get everybody to start buying it. I used to sit around going, God, I wish people would buy my shit. And now I'm saying, I wish people would slow down and give me a little break. You know, I work 7 days a week, 12, 14 hours a day. And a lot of people say I work too much. And my answer to them is, I used to have to work for a living. Now I get to do this. Oh, poor Chris has got to be at the shop. I listen to music. I watch TV. I'm not bothered by anybody. It's a pretty good life. It's a dream come true.
Can you tell me, how does Solution Finish work? Is it just a topper, just makes it look shiny for a little while? Like, how does Solution Finish work?
Solution Finish works by a process that nobody else has come up with. It's solvent based, so when you're applying it, it actually dissolves the existing oxidation. Then with modified and penetrating oils, a patented carbon actually absorbs into the microscopic pores of the plastic. And then when you buff off the excess, it has light stabilizers and antioxidants in it, which is like sunscreen for your plastic. So what it's doing is dissolving the oxidation, putting the color back in, and then giving it UV protection like a sunscreen for your plastic. It's a true restorer, not a dressing, not something that sits on the top ready to gas off, evaporate in a few days, as opposed to something that actually locks into the plastic.
A lot of people actually don't know that you have more than one product.
That's correct. Solution Finish Black has always been a staple of Solution Finish. It comes in a 12-ounce pro size and the 1-ounce individual size, but we just launched Fusion Gray, which is for your gray plastic. And for many years, the professionals used the black on the gray. It doesn't make the gray plastic black, but it makes the gray pop again. A guy just called me and said, Chris, the black on black is incredible, but the gray on gray is astonishing. So the gray really is pretty special. So right now we have the gray and the black, and then at the end of August, we'll be launching the Solution Finish plastic sealer, which is called Over the Top because it goes over the top of Solution Finish. And what that does is it locks Solution Finish in for not only added durability, but it locks it in, gives it a little sheen, but there's no transfer that you can get from the plastic. So it's pretty exciting. Between the black, the gray, and the sealer, it's about anything a professional would need to restore the plastic long term. And that's pretty exciting.
Where do you see Solution Finish in the future?
Fortunately for me, Solution Finish has doubled its sales every year since I started, which is not really to impress you because I started out with 0, But as we grow and becoming more popular, the more outlets and the more people recognize it and want to carry it. We have 640 distributors now. We just launched trimrestore.com, which for the first time ever, because I have Ashley working with me, we sell directly to the public. And all these years we never did. We only manufactured and sold to our distributors and let them put it online, let them put it in the stores, and etc. So I think where it's going to go is that trimrestore.com is going to grow, and as I slowly start getting into other markets, we're in 12 countries right now, but what we want to do is get a real foothold in the UK and do the same thing in the UK that we're doing here. And if that happens, it's going to be astonishing.
It's going to be global.
Yeah.
Other than trim restoration, what else can your product do?
Obviously, our mainstay is restoring the color in the product, into the trim, but I would say the biggest thing it does is it gives it UV protection. A lot of people don't know this, but when you put on silicone on plastic, when it evaporates, it creates a hydroperoxide gas at the surface level of the part, which actually accelerates oxidation. So you're putting something on your plastic that's just a dressing, it creates more oxidation in the long run. A lot of people say, well, it dries it out, it ruins your plastic. Well, it just creates more oxidation. Once oxidation starts, you can't stop it. So what solution does different is it freezes the oxidation to the level that it is now. So it's never going to get worse. If you keep on applying solution finish over the months, your plastic will stay solid, strong, and vibrant without it deteriorating or what they call degenerating. Silicone degenerates plastic more than any other chemical, and people don't know that. So what it does different is it protects your plastic. Not only looks great, but it's going to save your vehicle from needing to replace your plastic in the future.
For your fans out there, Solution Finish, what would you, if you had a message that you can tell them, what would you say?
If you haven't tried Solution Finish, contact me directly and I will be sure to get you a sample of Solution Finish. If you are an enthusiast, a DIY guy, a professional, body shop, car wash, just want to maintain your vehicle, if you haven't tried Solution Finish, then allow me to let the product do the talking. Let me get something in your hands and you'll be astonished. I haven't had anybody say that they tried Solution Finish and it didn't live up to what they thought it was going to be. And that's probably the greatest thing that I could ask for, is to have somebody say it exceeds their expectations. You know, you always hear that, but when it actually happens, it's very gratifying to Ashley and I.
So I just want to say thank you, Chris, for doing this interview with me, and we look forward to the future.
You know what? Thank you for coming by, and I wouldn't want this to end without thanking you for your service. I know you're going back to Guam, and we really appreciate it. You know, Godspeed.
Well, thank you. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. If you guys have any ideas for future videos, go ahead and make a comment in this video. And
yeah, and if you see something of interest here, you can go to trimrestore.com and get more information, and that's where you can purchase Solution Finish, make comments, ask me questions, and I'll be happy to answer them for you.